most commonly used as potential. So that's been the most commonly used word for the little p. The H for sure though stands for the capital H in hydrogen. For like, you guys remember in chemistry on the periodic table?
No.
No? I want to take you guys back to school. All right, so that hydrogen is basically the most important element in the entire universe. That's where it all starts. So when God planted hydrogen, he knew what he was doing, and then from there, that's where it all carried on. So hydrogen is the #1 element in the entire universe, and that's the capital H. So going on this, he built this scale, and with the scale, it's from a 0 to 14, and it's used to measure a solution, like you said, from an acid to a base or an acid to alkaline. So a scale being 0 to 14, 7 being right in the middle. So anything to the left of 7 is considered, as you guys can see right here, is considered acidic. Anything to the right is considered alkaline. So here's the scary part. You guys ready for this? I'm so sorry, forgive me. But when you go from a 7 to a 6, this becomes 10 times more acidic. And when you go from a 6 to a 5, it's 100 times more acidic. And when you go from a 5 to a 4, 1,000 to a 3, 10,000. Come on, say it with me. 100,000.
Million.
Etc., right? Okay, and then we go the opposite way. This becomes 10 times more alkaline, 100 times more alkaline. Ready? 1,000.
10,000.
100,000. Million.
Okay, etc., right? So we don't want to be too far on either end of the spectrum. We want to be kind of more in the middle. Okay, you guys can see some of the stuff that you find on either end. And basically it's as you can see, it's a power of 10. The numbers we use nowadays in mathematics, they're Arabic. They're 0 to 9. We have a gentleman by the name of Fibonacci to thank for that, because he spread that throughout Eastern Europe and it came over to the Western world. But we use a base 10 system, 0 to 9. So it's much just like that. When you go from each place value, it's power 10, power 10, power 10, same thing as this. Okay? So, any questions so far? No? Okay. Now here's where it gets, this is the scary part. Not only is this acid right here, guys, yes, literally water can actually take the form of an acid. But this is not only acidic, it's what we call hydroniums. Okay, and this is where positive is actually bad. Hydroniums are actually oxidants. So anytime you drink or eat something from there, they're actually oxidizing your body. Who's familiar with oxidation? Can anybody give me an example of oxidation?
Statue of Liberty.
Good, Statue of Liberty, very good. It's rusting away, right? What else?
Swamp coolers.
Swamp coolers, good.
Cauliflower ears.
Okay, good. Well, that's more from the hits and everything, and etc. That does happen. You're right. How about from avocados and apples and bananas? What happens when you cut them? You let them sit there for a while.
Brown.
They oxidize, right? They're brown. Okay. And no, often people think it has to do with oxygen. Yes, it does, but it's more about a waste product from the chemistry. I'm not going to go into details on that. I know about it, but I'm not going to go into details on that. But it's just to know it's just the waste product. It's rusting. Okay, so every time you consume one of these into your body, you're basically rusting away. Okay, so it's oxidation. Not only is oxidation, but it is not allowing proper blood flow with oxygen. So it's actually depleting your oxygen as well. So you're actually literally putting acid into your body. You're oxidizing, and you're obviously depleting your oxygen supply. Okay, and when we go the opposite way, well, what's the opposite of an oxidant or oxidation? Antioxidants. Very good. Who can give me an example of some antioxidant food?
Berries.
Berries. Very good. Yes, they're very antioxidant. Any other ones? Green tea, yes, and they are very antioxidant.
Alkaline water.
That's right, alkaline water. Good answer, good answer. You get extra water for that. So, also to add to that, goji berries, believe it or not, pineapples, lemons, or limes, they are also, even though they are acidic, they're actually alkaline. What happens once they enter the body metabolizes it, the chemistry changes, and it goes alkaline. So that's why they become actually antioxidants. Okay? All right. Any questions so far on any of this? No? All right, cool. So let's go, we're going to talk about where our bodies are supposed to be at. Our blood level is supposed to be about approximately 7.4. In fact, it struggles really hard to maintain a 7.4 average. In fact, we're born at a 7.4. So the reason it's so important, I want to ask you guys, who actually knows as to why? There's two main reasons why we have to maintain a 7.4. Our blood is always wanting to be at that level. Anyone want to take a shot at it? And there's actually a huge hint up there.
Neutral. To be neutral?
Okay, more neutral. Okay. Charlie?
Water?
Water?
No.
It has a lot to do with that, believe it or not, yes. But there's a specific reason as to why our bodies want to maintain that 7.4 average.
That's the range of the blood.
Yeah, it has to do with hydration.
The alkaline level in the blood?
Okay, good. But then why? Why does it want to maintain that?
Keep it balanced.
Okay, balance. Okay.
Balance.
Yeah, does anyone know what that balance is called in our bodies? It's called homeostasis. Okay, where our bodies are always trying to fight to be at homeostasis. All right, if you take a look at it, you can see all the fruits and vegetables here, right? The reason our bodies want to maintain a 7.4 average is because that's where we are able to obtain the most nutrients from the foods we eat and drink. Our bodies are able to absorb it a lot better when our body is a little bit more alkaline. Okay, and there's one other big, huge reason why. Anything to the left, this warrants and harvests the environment for viruses and diseases. Okay, in fact, when we've had a cold, our body is actually very acidic at that moment. Cancer and viruses, they thrive in these environments here. They love acidic environments. They do not like an alkaline environment. It's pretty scary, isn't it? But that's the reality of it. I had a student once. He's a former student of mine. He came in and I told him, he's a paramedic now, and I told him, well, Hamio, isn't it true that when somebody's sick or somebody's dying, how's their body? It's very acidic, isn't it? I was like, looking at me like, yeah, how did you know that? I was like, I'm pretty sure once they die, they go straight to acid, right? He said, yes, how did you know that? And I was like, because I know. Unfortunately, guys, yes, acid means death. It's kind of scary, but yeah, that's where we're going towards that. What they do is they actually pump the body with sodium bicarbonate. That's baking soda. So anytime they've got a dead body, they pump that in there and it neutralizes the acidity. So it does allow the acid to. Right, that's why, how many of you guys have used baking soda in your water and then like to neutralize any acid reflux? You guys know that old remedy? Right? Okay, there's a reason for it. It's because baking soda is actually alkaline. You can see it right here. Okay? It's actually a form of an electrolyte. Okay, pretty interesting, huh? And that burp, when you're like burping, that's a chemical reaction. That's a chemical reaction occurring in your body, and it's one of the evidences of a chemical reaction is a gas that's being released. The gas is the burp. Okay, we don't want to talk about the other gas. That's after all the tacos. Come up here and pour something. Anybody? All right, come on up. I'll take both of you. Okay, go and pour a little bit of Dasani into this. Shouldn't have said that. This water. This water in a bottle.
Yeah, I'll cover the
It looks kind of carbonated for I don't know what reason. So go and pour some in. Okay. I want you to pour about 2-3 drops in. On each one? On this one. Okay. No, it's like, no. So what he's pouring is a pH reagent. What this does is going to point out it's using the spectrum. So it's going to show the spectrum of the pH level on it. As you guys can see, okay, you guys tell me, what color is it? Yellow. Yellow, right? What does that mean?
6.
Yeah, it's between a 5 and a 6, isn't it? It's extremely acidic. Okay, I'm going to explain that one. All right, did you guys know that pure water by itself on its own, a human body should not consume pure water? Yeah, exactly. Very good. It's a weird concept, but water is actually really thirsty. So the pure water molecule by itself, you cannot drink that. And the reason being, does anybody actually know? You said it right now, it kind of dehydrates you. Do you want to know exactly what it means by actually dehydrating you with that? When you drink that type of water, which is distilled water, it's actually stripping you the minerals on the way down when you drink it. So as you drink it, it's going to take from you. And it's also oxidizing your body, depleting your oxygen level, and you're literally pouring an acid into your body. But yes, folks, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but these familiar waters, like you know the other name brands, I'm not going to call them out. But yeah, you're literally pouring an acid into your body. sorry about the ones on the shuffle there, but yeah, you drank one of those earlier. You literally poured an acid into your body.
It was your fault.
Yeah. I put them there for a reason. You're gonna see why. We're gonna talk about that later. Okay. So, any questions so far on that? Does anybody know when we actually really use distilled water for those? Very good. Why?
Yeah,
Very good. Well, good job. Yeah, exactly that. So it doesn't leave any mineral deposits behind to mess up the machine. So that's why you use it in the planchas, which are the irons. You use it in the humidifiers. You use it in the diffuser better. That's why. So it doesn't leave any mineral deposit behind the machine. That's the only time you should actually use it. In fact, they even use distilled water to clean microchips. Because they run it through the microchips and collects all the debris. It's that dirty. Crazy, huh? So what these guys do is they attempt to try to put some of the electrolytes back in there. Some of the water bottles don't actually disclose what they put in there, but most of them do. I'm going to read it out to you. They put magnesium sulfate, potassium chloride, salt, and believe it or not, those are electrolytes. What happened is that they try to put some of them back in there, but they just don't put quite enough. If they put just enough to where it's not distilled water, where it's like, oh, we're not really hurting them, damaging them, but it's just enough where they can kind of drink it. And that's pretty much what they do. And then this is the part I really dislike. It says minerals added for taste. No, ladies and gentlemen, the minerals aren't added, should be added for taste. That's because that's how we should be drinking it. We should be drinking it from the earth, as God intended it for it to be. Okay, now let's go and do tap water. All right, so this is tap water. You guys want to go ahead and do the pH, and then I'll let you. And I'll let you do this one.
Oh, okay, I got another one. Okay. 3 drops?
Yeah. I want to come up with a different name instead of my Vanna Whites. My Vanna Morenos. Okay. If you guys notice, look at the color on the tap water. Okay, so most of you guys are thinking, hey, that's not too bad, right? Like, we should just be drinking tap water, right? Okay, true. But I'm going to show you exactly why it's so high on the pH level. It's not because of minerals, it's because of something else. You guys notice when you poured this in there, it turned yellow? What he poured in there was a chlorine reagent. So this told you exactly how much chlorine is in the water.
So that's good for pools.
This is good for pools, exactly. And you're actually drinking this. And let me show you where it's on the pH scale. Look at bleach. And what's in bleach? Chlorine. So that's why it showed up so high on the pH scale. It wasn't because of minerals, it was because of the chlorine. And right now, during the winter months, they're running a lot more chlorine than usual. They still run a lot. But during the winter months, they're running a lot because the water's a little bit more stagnant. There's not as much flow. But during the summer months, they still put a lot of chlorine, just not as much because there's a little bit more flow. Obviously, people are using it more often. But that's why. So worst case scenario. Alright. Watch this. I'm gonna go ahead and if you want to just put like a little dash of this is vitamin C, okay guys? Yeah, you can go put it right here. So what he's pouring is a little bit of vitamin C. So it's kinda like getting a lemon or lime. So worst case scenario you're at a restaurant, get lemon or lime, pour that in there, and watch what it does. Yeah, it totally kills the chlorine, totally neutralizes it. Okay, and that's what the vitamin C does. So I'm going to go to the pH, so you can see. Now you guys can see that tap water is now going to its original color where it's supposed to be, which is in the more neutral state. So it was high in pH because of chlorine. Okay. Now if you think like, oh, that's all I got to do now, I just got to drink tap water. I don't need this alkaline water. I can just drink tap water, right? Here's the but. I'm so sorry, guys. But? Yeah, there's a but. There's unfortunately over 30-something known contaminants in the water. Okay? And one of them being chlorine. There's lead. And if you guys could step inside here, I'm going to show you real quick here, guys. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. There's still more to come, though. Okay, I want to read some of the known contaminants in the water. You ready for this? Arsenic. Bromate. Okay, bromodichloromethane. In fact, there's different variations of methane. By the way, methane is a waste product from our feces. So fecal matter and when we pass gas. So kind of some of the stuff that you find in our water, yes. And there's all kinds of acids. You can actually see them. There's variations of acids. And that's just a few of them. There's actually more. Okay, there's bromoform, chloroform, chromium, nitrate, nitrite, radium. One of the scariest ones. And nitrate. Here's one of the scariest ones. Uranium. Yes, there's uranium in our water when you drink it. So every time you're at a restaurant drinking coffee, it has been filtered, you're drinking that stuff. And the funny thing is that the city, they have what they call a city, they have a limit. So this is a legal limit. What's this funny? Arsenic, been known to cause cancer, but look at the legal limit on it. There's a legal limit of 10 parts per billion. In the city, water has been found to have 4.71 parts per billion. So let me ask you something. What happens if we didn't pass the legal limit for this one, or the legal for this one for that one, but what happens if you add them all together? Is there a legal limit for that? That's pretty scary, right? So yes, you can use the lemon or lime, squeeze it into your water, but it's not going to take out all the other contaminants, ladies and gentlemen. It really isn't. Okay.